We're going to use this double boiler I have here, which is set up with 2 leaders, 2 hooks, and it's a sliding rig. We're going to cast for taru. I brought another cylinder to try, and let's see if we can prepare the recipe that was left for me in the comments. We have terrible wind. It's 14 degrees and it's 8 in the morning. We went from 30 degrees to 14. So let's see if it affects fishing or not. The good thing is that the wind is blowing in a direction where I can cast with the buoys. Alright, so let's bait with little sabalo. I'll show you the fillets, the pieces I made, and then we'll get started. Thank you. Let's get some mate ready. It's chilly, really chilly. I don't know why. There's always wind in this place. No matter what season it is, we have to always be prepared. Maybe it's because it's a low area, I don't know, but it's incredible. That's just how I know it, especially when I'm at the river. So just in case anyone wants to bring up the topic of the little hill unexpectedly, well, in a bit I'll show you how I prepare it. A buoy. When you lack leaders and must fish for taruchas or doradillo, well, I'm going to share with you how I prepare a buoy to fish for taruchas or dorados. In case you don't have a leader, we're going to use. First, I'm going to start by showing you this buoy that I prepared on the last fishing trip, which is a buoy that's used more for silverside fishing. I think you call it carrot. Notice that it's a sliding type. We should have about 15 centimeters here from the hook where the bead is, and there's a stopper. When the fish takes the bait, there's resistance where the bead is. Alright, now let's go. To the key part, the key thing here would be for you to have this, which is copper. You can get it from any wire. And well, what you do is take out a single wire. I had prepared this hook the last time for boga, but for this kind of fishing, it's going to be quite small. So, we're going to proceed to change it for a more suitable hook that we're going to use. One like this. To look for a good tarua. Whenever you cut the excess of a fishing knot, try not to cut it too close. Always leave a little margin, just in case it keeps slipping. Well, it will be a little harder. Well, let's move on to the copper. I doubled it, notice, so it would be thicker because it was too long. If not, and the hook is going to be big, well, you thread it. Thread through the small hole in the hook, leaving the same length as if passing it to the nylon. You put one part parallel to the nylon, and with the other you start to twist it along the same axis. Like making a braid. This way. At first, what you basically have to try to do is pass it as close as possible, because it always leaves you with a margin from the other one. So later you can check if you missed covering the plastic and go over that spot properly. This would be the first part. So it would look like this and be good. Now it's ready. So, well, if this helps anyone, or if you have something else to share with us, and this is the way I do it when I run out of leader. Can you tell that I came here inside the grove? It's amazing. Because with the wind issue I mentioned, it was impossible to share with you what I just shared. Setting up the line.
For Tarucha or Grado. With a leader, in this case made of copper.
So, well, now we're going to walk to the fishing spot. We're going to put some Saturday fillet on it, and let's see if we can get the first catch. Well, we're heading to another spot, the one the camper recommended to me last time. Let's see if in that spot
We can get the first bite.
because he told me it was a much smaller lagoon. And maybe since it's smaller, the temperature is different. Because here, as I mentioned to you, what
Changed?
I'm probably gonna have to wait until the water heats up for it to activate. So, alright, let's walk and see if we can find a place just now. Now it's clearing up a bit because it was cloudy, so it's getting much nicer. I think I'm on the right path because there's a little animal trail here. And as you know, animals leave the little trails. They always connect the lagoon and the streams because that's the place they go to drink water. This part was easier for me. Well, it looks like this little lagoon is pretty dry, but we shouldn't underestimate it, but we'll try it anyway. Well, I assure you that if you saw this place by the way it looks, you wouldn't cast here. But as I was saying, these are places you shouldn't underestimate. Because it's happened to me that places like this where there's only 3 meters of water end up surprising you. Let's wait and see. I cast here and brought sieves to check.
There it is, folks. I think I've got one.
If I don't tell you, well, it's gonna go back. I just caught a small tarucha fish. It's amazing. Let's try with the surface one. If not, we have this little frog that goes below the surface. So, well, let's see if we can catch one with the artificial bait.
Do you mix any with a lure? Terrible.
Well, All right, folks, now we have the food.
Well, we have it there now.
For the recipe you mentioned to me, I'm going to show you how I was bringing it. I was bringing it and making some moves.
With the tip of the rod.
Look,
I'm not very good with the lure. And this way I managed to catch this one. Let's see if we can share something with you.
a live bite.
There it is.
Second bite.
All right, it let go. Next bite.
All right, we changed the lure. Let's cast a few more times here, then head to the other spot since it's far and we left our gear there.
Thank you.
We're taking this one to prepare the recipe someone left me in the comments. See if you can cast one more time on this side and then we'll go. Look at how many birds are down there.
I'm kind of far away, but I zoomed in so you can see.
Well, they're a mix of real tenor and Siri duck. But let's see if we can get a little closer to show you up close.
And well, if any of you know
The names, you can leave them in the comments to share with everyone.
I believe those are all Surrey ducks, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, let's get the fire ready. I actually went to try that spot with a lure because honestly, nothing has bitten here. Nothing at all. I just put the tarua guts on the float and still nothing, so...
Really strange.
All right, let's start the fire. Let's get the food ready. It's really windy, and then we'll see where we're going to head next.
Fishing.
I finally got the fire going despite the wind making it difficult. I think there's nothing more annoying when fishing than the wind. With gusts where you don't know which way to cast, which way to go. Hopefully it eases up a bit. Now we're going to start with the food. Well, I started with the potatoes and look at the float. Something's taking it, there's a lot of bait, so let's wait. It could be a turtle, because it's taking it but not sinking it, man, but it could also be something else. Maybe a tararira. Let's think about it and we'll figure it out. Nothing, man. Did I hook a turtle?
All right, the tararira is already scaled. I've already made the cuts. Take a look.
Alright, lengthwise. So we're going to sprinkle a little bit of mixed seasoning on top. Then I'll spread it well with my hand, and once I add the seasoning, I'll add it. I'll put the salt right in the middle, opening it up well so the salt can really get in. Well into the tarucha.
Alright, look, this is how it turns out.
To add salt, you just fold it and then add the seasoning or salt that you want to put on it. Once the potatoes are ready, we add it. Good evening. Now guys, look at this. It looks amazing, so let's try it.
There were many more potatoes, but I kept eating them because they're amazing, so...
Well, like I told you.
Once we're done eating, we're going to head to the place where we got a bite. Notice how in here, you can't feel the wind in here, but some gusts have picked up that are much stronger than before. In fact, even though I wanted to stay in that spot to keep fishing, it was going to be impossible for me. Look at the little entrance, the one that's over there. Who knows where it leads, but let's take the easy path. Well, I also brought the buoy, all set up and ready. Let's see if they go for it. For carnado señuelo, we're going to try with the little frog. Since it didn't work, I think I have. Another little frog there, but it's the one with a rubber, if I'm not mistaken. I seen here, it has dried up, but there should also be water here when everything is grown and... Look, here you can see it clearly too. As this continues though...
Of course.
Now follow all this you see here.
Dry, it probably ended up in La Laguna because they must be connected to each other. But, well, since everything is dry, this one seems to...
Couldn't handle it and dried up. I noticed because of the animal tracks and because it's surrounded by Zarandi. This is a horn from an animal, not from a bull, from a cow. This is so strange, man. Because no. You can't see the animal's skull, let's say. And the horn is here, sticking out. This is a horn. Look, I just broke it. How strange. It's like they buried it point first there. Well, we finally made it. Look, the wind doesn't blow here. Amazingly, the water's really nice. I got hot walking, carrying all this. All right, let's do it.
The first shot.
Had a little bit of sabalito. And a little bit of tripe from the taru that was left there. So let's see if they go for the bait too. Now I'll get the lure ready and we'll start casting. In the other lagoon, I made countless casts with this lure. But I always try and never catch anything. Imagine, I've been trying a lot, but nothing. So let's see if we can share some other catches here. Well, we should look for a place where the wind doesn't blow. Let's try casting this way. I went to try over there, and when I returned, the buoy was bobbing. I'm crouching due to the wind. Let's see what...
Something stuck.
Or something that it's just eating. Let's tighten it first. I don't think that... No, something on top. It must have just been because... Let's try again. It's a positive indication. There was already some movement. Thank you. Is this a snail or frog egg? I've been told both by different people, so I'm unsure. I think it's both. Both must be very similar. Maybe the shape changes. Well, I came here to the end of the area because I heard some movement. Look, everything is drying up. I don't know how much time this lagoon has left. So let's see. Well, friends, something is taking La Boya. There it is. Come here. Oh.
Oh, piece of such.
This would be the fourth one. The other two escaped at the edge. I prepared one there as I shared with you. This one is dedicated to Dario Romero for his birthday. Now we're going to proceed to release it. I had to move because the wind wouldn't let me stay. Talk, and you wouldn't be able to hear anything. So, well, let's go ahead and release this one and see what else we can find.
Do you know why?
I think they're not attacking the lure anymore because of the wind. Well, here I'm in a spot where I'm somewhat sheltered from the wind. What it does is move the water in such a way that this part of the little lagoon gets choppy and the lure. The movement on the surface catches our attention as the water is murky. Alright, so let's see if we can go along the shore and cast it to the side where there's shelter, in front of these sarandi. And let's see if we can get a few more bites to share with you. I left the buoy there for a while, and let's keep fishing longer to see what else we can share with you. Let's cast here and see. Here, the wind is less noticeable. The R&D trees ahead provide shelter. All right. All right, I just got back from fishing at the little lagoon, and honestly, the wind was really annoying. I think that it completely changed the fishing day because, as you saw when I went in the morning, when I really had to catch one, I got a lot of bites. Very quick. And well, despite everything, notice that I told you that. Even if a place seems to have nothing, it's easy to underestimate it. I believe there must have been something there. 3 meters wide at most, and very little water. Hopefully it rains soon because that lagoon is going to dry up. And well, 4 strikes from Tarucha. I think 3 with a lure and with bait. So well, I don't know what you think about the recipe I prepared. It was the most commented on and seemed the easiest option there. Most suitable for the place. So, well, like I always say, do you have a place there to leave an idea or something for next time?
Today we're fishing with lures with a float.
From the bottom, also try it first. The conditions were varied, but the wind made it challenging. Thank you for joining me and being a part of this. I hope you enjoyed the fishing. See you next time, everyone.